So welcome to San Diego Surf School. We're going to talk about different surfboards today, which ones might be right for you or right for the conditions you're hoping to surf in. We have a nice lineup of all boards made in San Diego, but first one we're going to start with is this beautiful Hank Warner right here. Basically, longboards are used in a variety of conditions. Since the 50s and 60s, people have been riding boards just like this. Oftentimes they'll come with a single fin setup, just like this one, or they can add a thruster like other boards, modern boards look like these days. But basically, what you'll get out of a longboard is a higher volume and a higher ability to paddle and catch waves. So they're gonna be really good on smaller days if you're having trouble catching waves on a shorter board, and they'll also provide a lot of stability. You can ride a longboard from the tail all the way up to the nose, and like I said, it's gonna be a good choice for anybody, beginner, advanced, basically just a lot of fun. Okay, and next Steve's gonna talk about a fun board, which is kind of like a longboard, but designed to be a little bit smaller for a couple different reasons.
Yeah, so like he said, this is a fun board right here. It's designed almost the same as a longboard. Usually they're a little bit more pointed toward the top and having the same amount of rocker as usually a longboard, giving you the same paddle power, the same amount that you'd need to catch a wave. The difference in this board to this board is that one, it's gonna be just a little bit thinner, making it a little bit more maneuverable, but making it also not as easy to catch waves. This right here is what we call a thruster setup or a tri-fin setup, instead of the single fin. It makes for much more maneuverability on the board, but at the same time being able to hold nicely. The single fin will slide out in the back. This will hold much nicer and easier. This is a great transition board. What this is great for is going down from a longboard all the way down to getting into your shorter boards where you're ending up getting better at surfing, feeling more comfortable. All right, the next board right here is a gun. Dylan's gonna explain what this board is for you.
So the gun is gonna be similar to longboards in that one of its main characteristics will be volume. They're gonna be longer, usually thicker, and a lot of times just generally more buoyant than shorter boards that people often ride. These are used only in really large waves. They need that buoyancy so that you can get your board going really fast as those big open ocean waves travel in. They also add in the element of nose rocker though. They have a bit more rocker than say your longboard or your fun board because it will need to take off in steeper waves and handle more steep critical sections, and this will kind of keep you from nose diving. Longboards, because they're so straight, if they kind of fit into a very steep or really curly hollow wave, it'll just be more likely to nosedive. So the gun and the nose rocker helps you with that. And moving down, short boards, Steve will talk about.
Yeah, so this is your standard short board. This is what you're gonna see pretty much almost everyone on the beach riding these days, especially in Southern California. This is used for all ranges of waves. Usually you wanna have a nice, bigger, chunkier day at least, something with a little push behind it so you can really maneuver your board. What's nice about these short boards is that you can ride them and really maneuver in any type of wave. What the rocker does on this is see how this goes all the way up to the point and it's pointed at the top. That is what makes you be able to come up to the wave and hit off the top of it, all right? Same with the thruster. It's the same setup as the fun board, making it super maneuverable in the pocket of the wave, all right? This is what you're gonna see pretty much almost everyone riding on the pro level especially. This is really what you want to get to if you want to do different types of tricks, if you want to do airs, if you want to do any type of different crazy maneuver, you're going to want to step down to a short board eventually. The next board is a Growler.
So keep in mind as we're talking about all these boards, usually there's just going to be a give and take between stability and balance and maneuverability and performance. So like I was saying earlier, the bigger, floatier, flatter boards like longboards and fun boards are going to be a lot better if you're trying to learn because they are more stable and they catch waves easier. But as we go down, you start to add more rocker and eliminate volume, they're going to become more maneuverable. On the other hand, this board is a hybrid or a Growler board. So they call it that because it's basically a hybrid between a short board and a long board. It includes the elements of a wider nose and a wider tail to increase buoyancy and paddle power, but also has a thruster setup, and the tail is slightly pulled in a bit, so it will allow it to kind of maneuver a lot quicker than, say, your longboard. But the last thing is the fish. Basically, this thing is a result of people riding longboards, then cut them down into fish, and then eventually they started riding shortboards. Then somebody realized, hey, fish was a good idea. Let's try to put something in between shortboards and fishes, and that's where the hybrid came from. All right, so last board, but definitely not the least important, would be the fish surfboard. It was actually invented in San Diego. And really important part of kind of our surfing culture and heritage here. A lot of people still ride them, and have been for many years. So Steve's gonna tell you about the fish now.
Yeah, so like Dylan was saying, these two boards pretty much made this new age board. So taking from that, this board is a lot like this board in the fact that it is great for San Diego, as in it can ride almost any wave. It can ride small waves, it can ride big waves, as long as it has enough little push to give you some nice ways to wrap your board around. What I love about these boards is that it has this twin fin in the back on the fish, and it also has this swallowtail or a fishtail right here, which means the water will pass through here, making it easier to turn, and this making it easier to slide on top of the wave, all right? What's good about it also is it doesn't have an incredible amount of rocker, making it easy, nice and stable to paddle for a board and easy to catch a wave, but it has enough in the back right here to release on the tops of your waves. I love boards like this just because the fact is that I can ride it almost any time. I can shove it in my trunk, I'll leave it there for the whole day, and I can go to 7 different spots and know that I can ride this board anywhere. That's what I really like about it. And it's a true Southern California board, which is awesome. So, if you ever need help with any of these boards or figuring out what style board you should be riding or what you should be trying to get into eventually in waves, just let us know. Just come on in, give us a call. We love to help people learn how to surf, where to surf, and when to surf. Just give us a shout. We love it.